Hi, Jack Olesker here again after what was admittedly a really intense episode, the last one that dropped. But that's part of what this writer's life is like. But I have to say, on balance, my years in LA were certainly among the happiest years of my life, surrounded by people that appreciated me, valued me. I still am valued by many of the top entertainment industry people in the world. But boy, being a up and coming writer and having people like Lori who took a daily interest in my career and was always supportive and there for me, boy, that made a lot of difference in this young writer's life. So those were really, really happy days for me. And I want to talk about something that was really one of the happiest parts of my career in Los Angeles. And I know it doesn't sound like it has, a lot to do with writing or television or motion pictures, but all work and no play, as the phrase goes, makes Jack a dull boy. And we always looked forward to having something that would shake things up, make it a little bit different for us. And the DIC Softball League, boy, that fit that bill to a T. The friends that I had, the camaraderie, people cheering all of us on during a great championship season. We neared the end of that season. We were 12-0, so we were a powerhouse in the league that was comprised of Universal and Warner Brothers and some of the other major big shots in the industry, but we had really made our mark. And going into that last game, we were plenty nervous. We were going against our arch rivals, Warner Brothers. We were their only loss the entire year. We were 12-0, they were 11-1, and we knew that if we lost this game, we were going to have to go into a playoff, and we didn't want to do that. We wanted to wrap it all up. So here I go out onto the mound, first inning, got Bobby Logan over at third base, Mike Stokey over at shortstop, Mike Cowan over at first base, and Linda Levin at second, and Lori behind the plate as the catcher. And first inning goes pretty well. I retire 3 batters in a row. And we come up in the bottom of the first, and there's a big guy that takes to the mound. There's a phrase, I'm sure most of you know it, a ringer, okay? It's when they bring in somebody from outside who has special skills. And we had not seen this guy before. And there he goes onto the mound, and I forget who was our leadoff batter. It might have been Mike or Bobby Logan. And this guy just burns the ball in, and we're talking softball. Well, there's soft pitch where you kind of lob it, and then there's fast pitch. And because the Entertainment League was a mixed league, and we had gals on our teams, it was understood that it was slow pitch. But this guy is burning the ball in, and move to the next inning, and we do like a little conference on the mound. And Bobby Logan says, "Look, Jack, this guy's doing fast pitch. I don't know if you know how to do fast pitch." He said, "I can do fast pitch. If you feel you can't handle it." Well, nobody's going to tell me that there's anything in this world that I can't handle, okay? So I said, "Don't worry about it, Bobby. I'll be okay." And, I throw a couple pitches. They're wild. They're all over the place. I'm not used to fast pitching. But I settled down, and, we're moving along, and we go inning after inning after inning. It's a close game, and the bleachers are packed with fans from Warner Brothers and fans from DIC, all of our colleagues from the studio. It's really, really exciting. And it's close. We're up by 1 run. And we kind of need a spark. And it's a funny thing. In this sense, writing and I guess softball, they're analogous. You never know where that spark's going to come from. So they've got 2 outs. They've got a guy on first and they've got a guy on third base. And their batter comes up and he smacks it. And it's a grounder to Bobby Logan at third base. And Bobby fields it. He doesn't have time to get the guy out at first, which would retire the side. If this guy at third base who's sprinting for home scores, it's going to be a tie game. And Lori Crawford, she's got her catcher's mask on, you know, her protective front. She takes a step forward and blocks the plate, which you're allowed to do. And if you block the plate, you're fair game, okay? So this guy is running towards Lori, and we're watching in horror because she's blocking the plate, and the guy lowers his shoulder, and he slams into her. Well, she literally flew through the air, lands on her back. We all run in. We're closed around her. And it was like a movie moment. From the midst of everybody around her, all of a sudden, her glove comes up. The softball's in her glove, and she holds it over her head. And the umpire looks at the guy that slid into home base, and he said, "You're out!" So that was the spark that we needed. So now we go into the last inning, and I want to tell you, it's tense, and we're all pumped. And we get retired 1-2-3 at the bottom of the inning, and up comes Warner Brothers, and they've got 1 out. It's a man on first, a man on third, and their power hitter. I told you about this guy before. He's a beast. He comes up to bat, and you know, we got to pull in the infield because if the guy on third base scores, it's a tie game. And they've only got 1 out. So I'm fast pitching this guy. And he misses the first 2 pitches. And I swear it was like something out of a movie. You couldn't make this stuff up. He actually takes his bat and he pounds it on the plate. It's like something out of a movie, the Lou Gehrig story, Babe Ruth story. And a guy looks at me and he's staring daggers at me. And this is the moment. 1 out, guys on first and third base. And I throw the third ball to him. And bam, he connects with it. It's a line drive, okay? If it goes into the outfield, the guy at third base scores for sure. And, you know, sometimes stuff in life happens in slow motion. And I turn around and I see Linda, who is an accomplished athlete. She's running in what appears to be slow motion. The ball's coming. It's going to go over her head. She leaps up into the air. It's so quiet you can hear a pin drop, to use another cliche. And all we hear is, boom. She comes down. The ball's in her mitt. She falls to the ground. The guy at third base is running towards home. She looks to the guy that was on first base, who was sure that this was going to be an extra base hit. He's now 5 steps off of first base. She's on her knees. She pulls the ball out of her mitt and fires a strike to Mike Cowan, who catches it, doubles the guy off. The inning's over. We're the champions of the Entertainment League Softball League. So it was quiet for like, I don't know, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. We were all stunned. The fans were stunned in the bleachers. We just couldn't believe what we saw. And then all of a sudden, it clicks back into real time. We converge on Linda and we lift her up onto our shoulders. The DIC fans roar off of the bleachers. They come in and they surround her and we're cheering. And I'll tell you what, man, that was a moment I'll never forget. So that was the DIC championship season. So after that, next episode, we're going to move to beautiful offices in Encino, California. And I'll get to know Bobby Logan real good. He becomes my roommate. I won't tell you the show we're going to be working on. You got to come back for the next episode. But we'll have wrapped up Mask at that point. I'm close to wrapping up Heathcliff and the Cadillac Cats. And Jack's tip jar for you today. You know, it's great to work. Okay, I love to work when I don't have aggravations in my life. But you gotta have something else besides just your work. You gotta have something, whether it's a hobby, whether it's, I happen to like golf. It doesn't matter what it is. For us, it was the softball league. And I think that's a good tip. If you get a hobby, try to get something that's a team sport where you're with other people and you can enjoy your time outside and get away from your work for a little while. So hope you enjoyed the episode. I'll see you guys real soon.